Greetings from Noise Science Broadcast, brought to you by Absolute Insanity. Okay, so tonight is the weird part of YouTube. Greetings. Pandemic. Can't say that word, but oh well. Okay. Where are we going at? Yeah, future. Basically, it's just an Anunnaki connection. Anybody else that comes through, I felt the energy around. And we'll just go from there. That's about all I got right now. Okay, just going to a quick update of where we're at, which is don't know where we're at. cybersholler.com, private sessions. Scheduler is right here. We're had a channel there. Google Hangout, Zoom, and channel by phone. It's all private. Recordings. I think I'm on the. I don't know where I'm at. I think I'm on the 18th or the 19th. I'm something like that. Same situation here. Other channels and heroes I do recommend. Social Network, Rabbit, and the site going good as far as I know. Thank you for your support. So, all right. Feels like. Yeah, Anunnaki connection would be kind of deep, so maybe we'll go into different types of Anunnaki beings. We'll just sort of, well, they have something to say. That's all I have. I don't know. I just felt their presence. I don't know the deal, their situation, but I don't know. People have the ups and downs on them, but oh well. All right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings. We are Anunnaki, the Northern Alliance. Greetings here. Your planet, yes, is a, as you know, a programmed world. Programmed by the universe. We don't want to say hijacked, but recalculated, reinvented. There's so many different elements of alien here. Many alien ancestors here that are lost. As as you don't understand us, we don't understand many of the alien energies that are here also. Fragments of our past that even we forgot. The reason why we are here are, yes, our world invention, world building skills. Some of you have been on our planets. Some of those are, as you call them, dystopian worlds. Worlds that are similar to Mad Max, and not exactly. We have our own versions of Martian worlds. We have our own version of Venus planets, Mercury planets. We have, we take things and we evolve them into our own energy. And there's part of the universe that we roll quite a vast majority of. So of course we're going to come to your planet and leave our presence here. Now, yes, we're not exactly the strongest species in the universe, but we are ones that feel as if we can contribute to society, even if we're disliked by many. We're not exactly a likable bunch, as many of you know. And some of you have interacted with some of our kind as humans that are sometimes over chatty. Yes, some that think they know everything. They're royalty in their own minds. There's different kinds of them. Not all are us, but some of you can put it together. Yes, we're connected to Illuminati vibrations, but it's not all of us. Your gorilla species was one that we assisted with development. Of course, they try to take our race out altogether. I mean, wipe us off the face of the universe. Yeah, I'm not fully connected to an ape alien being. There are some Anunnakis now, but the ape is one of the more powerful beings in your universe. Not showing it here. Yes, the bear is a strong one, but the ape is still sometimes the wiser one. You're like ape people yourselves, so you get the idea. So as you connect with the ape energies, you might make the connection there. Some are doofuses, yes. There's a great amount of that, but there's also a great intelligent group too. Yes, astrology, that's one of the reasons why we came to your connections to the moon. Your connection to, yes, the universe, but the moon plays a big role in Earth's emotions. It connects to the planet energies, go to the moon, and connects to you. So the moon is a director, you can say, whatever word you want to use, but it is part of emotions on this planet. It brings, yes, retrograde energies to your Earth. It's not so much, there's some, but mostly the moon. That's why some of you feel so connected to the moon, is because spiritually you are connected to it. And some of you are connected to the alien species there. Some of you are just connected to the astral energies that are there. So that's why it plays such a, yes, many of you that are Agarthian connected, you have you're incarnated through Agartha to the Earth. You've had lifetimes through Agartha. Of course, you're going to be very connected to the moon. The moon it gives you insight of where things are going. That's where a lot of beings get their power. It's just where their energy siphons from. Not all beings work like that. Some work with the trees, some work with the sun, some work even with terrain, grass, rocks. As some of you are very keen to stones, you can feel like you're inside the stone, you are the stone. So everyone has and some of you, yes, have been stones in other lives, yes. Stone worlds, crystal worlds. Before you incarnate on any planet, you become a crystal of that planet. As Anunnaki, yes, we're not exactly the most loved species on your planet. We are, yes, some have said they are, yes, creation of humanity, but we did play a big part in your direction. As you're basically much of what you live here, yes, your money systems, your media systems, your religions, all have an Anunnaki touch to it to a certain degree. There is an Archon foundation, but a lot of it, the more wider side of it, depending on how you look at it, is Anunnaki. As yes, we bring portals to your energy. We know what systems work and what ones that do not. Especially in the third dimension. We've seen third dimensional worlds like yours before. Not exactly, but enough was like it worked on this planet, why would you bring it to this world? Such as the money infrastructure, that does cause a lot of harm. But was much needed for the path your world went into. Or is in. See how you're rewriting much of your planet's history at this time. Removing artifacts of your past. And removing the Anunnaki grid. A lot of these statues are being destroyed have Anunnaki energies there. So destroying them does not. Now realize, in your Earth's past, statues have been destroyed over and over again. This is nothing new. It is showing the society wants to rebuild itself. You can say forget the past. Why not? Was it worth remembering? Not always. Why do you think much of your past has been forgotten? Because you just said to hell with it. We're going to do something new. Of course, where you're at today, some of you would like to be in a better place, but sometimes the regimes that were there in the past are worth forgetting about. As you connect to it, it's like sometimes the things that, events of your past are, yes, I guess say, worth letting go. And that's what's happening today. You're doing world building today. You're just not sure where to go. All these things are happened in the past. in a more ancient way, but you're modernizing much of it. But not that we know where the future is going here. Well, we have an idea. But as many of you, so if you want to know where the future goes, connect to your past. Majority of you have incarnations in your past, or you can always connect to it through your alien energies if you've not had human incarnation. You see the past echoing it currently. They're taking down the infrastructure so you can go into a new direction. It's like call it roadblocks. Statues are roadblocks, other things are roadblocks. It's up to you. I mean, humanity's gonna make your decisions no matter what. And just those that are doing censorship don't like their truth. Now, yes, there's different truths, of course, but some want to control the narrative, as you can see. Some are absolutely terrified of where your world's heading. I mean, their infrastructures of censoring might not exist anymore in your future. As you have seen, if you look at modern history, many of your corporations don't exist anymore from your ancient past or your recent past. So yes, many of these corporations are doing time traveling energies, trying to keep themselves relevant. Astrally, they go through time to rig the stock market, stay relevant, or some companies are destroyed in astral and then they're eventually destroyed here. Different reasons for it. Some of you are involved with destruction of some of those things that never should have been created before in the first place. There's much detail there. But as for designing a planet, it does start from a single thought. It's like, creating a movie that you're living in. Yes, you see the players. It's that simple. As you have writers and even painters and things. They're creating anybody can do it. You don't have to have a big budget to think. You can draw it out. That doesn't cost anything. Be aware of what you draw out. I mean, as you draw out a reality, be aware that's being created as you're doing it. Just be aware. So yes, you can create your own universes just at the comfort of your own home. Yes, it's that simple. You think it's all just making things up, but that is a third dimensional idea system that many of you have healed that plague. But realize, yes, many of you are constant creators. No matter what, it can go wrong, doesn't matter. It's just like anything else. Okay, that didn't work. We just keep on creating and inventing. It's that simple. Yeah, humanity is known to limiting itself, but now we're here to unlimit the limitations, to loosen the screws of your idea systems. Realize anybody can do these things. It can be the simplest idea ever. It doesn't really matter. We have the simple ideas can become complicated in other realities, whatever it might be. Much of your alien races are connected to simplicity, but that simplicity can be a mystery race. Let's put it that way. So as you realize that, you feel like you have to go to the fourth dimension to get knowledge, but you have it right here. You just have to know how to find it within yourself. That's where beings are having trouble discovering now. As you're a creator, but how does one do that? Do I have to be a great artist, painter? No. You just have to have ideas. As many of you like I said, it can be but that's the thing, humans create and then they kind of knock themselves down. Maybe not to do that so much, because you can destroy an empire just by thinking that. It's like it's built to fail, and sure enough it was. The creator gave up on it, just like that. So that's where you got to start looking at things differently. It's a deep rooted side of your souls that you're not realizing. Of course, you're not going to see a universe be built right in front of you. but it is in your essence and who you are if it's something you truly desire. Really, in the higher dimensions, it's much easier to see them being developed, and spirits even easier. But doing it in a third dimensional realm, just feeling it be created and knowing the essence is an unlocking period to take you to the fourth dimension. Fourth dimensional thinking of what universe you're going to create today, and you can do it every day or every minute or whatever you want to do. That put your mind in something else other than what's happening on your planet. As it's not imploding, but, well, systems are, yes. But as you create universes, who cares about what's happening here? It helps you understand what's happening here, actually. I don't know how you look at it. It's all in how you look at everything. So, that's all we have. There's others here. This is... Greetings. We are the bird people of greetings of Mars. We are birds of your Atlantis also. Meaning many of us came from the skies during Atlantean time period. The Martian way is to know all ways, to know genetics, to be able to defeat those around you, conquer. Now in our world, it was just a military planet in the last years of it, yes, or decades, either way. Some of you, yes, it is, because much of that's happening here, but at a lighter degree. Martians are known to be warrior race. We taught much of your planet of how to be warriors, as many of you have realized, in your own ways. We were also, yes, we've DNA of changing our form to a bird, reptilian, whatever it might be. Now, not everyone did it, but some did. As many of you do that with tattooing instead. Some of you changing your sexuality. Martians, yeah, sexuality is mostly male. Females are, kind of pushed to be more male-like. For war, of course. Which is connected to your Sparta. So basically, it came in your past, yes, to scare humanity. To take it over. Through the skies. Beings that people cannot understand. So, some of you might remember some of those things. The reason we are here is, yes, to explain ourselves. As a part of, yes, your Roman emperors are connected to Martian energies. There's Venus there also. It's not just a Martian effect, but much of it. There's a little bit of all planets connected to Rome and Greece. Mostly Rome. Greece is more like an alien, Syrian, hybrid, human. That was your, came from your Babylonians in some ways. Basically, as the modern human is being developed. As you call the model that you go by now. Most of you have 5 fingers, I believe. The standards, it's like a car. Car has standards, has air conditioning, has 4 wheels, has 4, some do have 4 doors. You're all pretty much a standard model of human, for the most part. Which wasn't always the case in your past. You say your Greeks, your Egyptians, your Babylonians were the current model you're in today. Well, of course, there's been much changes to genetics, but for the most part, you are what you are. But Rome played a role in basically creating modern civilization that you're living today. Many alien beings incarnated. That's when much of the reincarnation source really kicked in from alien sources, as they wished to rule your world, but they had to do it by the world's terms, by being a human. Of course, much of your statues and all much has been lost for good reason. Well, much of it was erased so you can create a new reality. That is what's happening now. Now, of course, your Earth went into a darker age, but it also went to a spiritual age. Might not have been the most pleasant. It was much manipulated, but from it had a lot of alien downloads, as you can see. Reason for the church is so they can hide much behind closed doors. Even better, because they put fear out there. You already had fear of the Romans, but with the modern Christianity, it had more fear there. Well, some of you experienced that. Yeah, you don't go into a cathedral and feel love and joy sometimes, correct? It said keep out. I mean, you can come in, go by what we say, but it's hiding a great deal. It is connected to your pharaoh, it's connected to a great deal. Basically, it's the seeding of the lower astral, yes. The lower astral was unleashed through fear. People are looking for relics on it's all through fear. Fear is why lower astral exists. Even took down the Martians, because we never experienced anything like that before. Because we had more control over our planet. Of course, it was destroyed, but that was after connecting to your world. So we lost control. As this world lost control, we lost control of ourselves. So this world does affect other planets, let's put it that way. Now, some might say Mars went away a long time ago, but not all of us are on that timeline. But when Atlantis went away, we went away. Let's put it that way. The Martians just basically seeded, and many of Martians are popes, but that's where Martians became more spiritual connected, in a controlling way. To give you a detail. So you can connect to that vibration. It's not the easiest, because most of it's hidden. Blessings. Greetings, your world. We are, yes, insectoids from the higher dimensions. Greetings, your existence. Hybrid humans. The foundation of human, yes, was created from other planets. Yes, seeds from other planets. Of basically planets at one time can grow humans. I know that sounds strange here. But you have plant life and you have human life that was grown on worlds outside your universe. Or we have never seen that before. So we took some home to ourselves and developed our own type of human race. I know it sounds very weird. Well, those are called, what do you call it, the vegans? The vegan? Is it Vega? Yeah. Many of them were grown through the planet. Well, you have your own growing methods here of human, but it's through the human. But plants that we're connected to came through plant life. Now, that was in the early stages of the human development. Basically, yes, you have a plant tree that would have just like as you would have here. Of course, the human looked a lot different than what you have here today. But went through the same birthing process. Well, it just kind of kicked it out, basically, when it was at a certain age. Usually it was 6 months for it to be. Of course, the time there is a lot quicker. So 3 days in higher dimensional. But in your world, it would be 6 months. Because time is much different. But yeah, 3 days of it. Basically, it had enough to just grow it and just once it was, as your children are here today, as they're born, it's the same thing. Just kicks them right out. Now there were always beings there to pick them up and take care of and understand it, and that's a long history of that. That shows where your world. Yeah, are you able to digest what we just said here? Some of you have been part of those planets. For you, it might be terrifying, but for other places, it's no big deal. They have a consciousness. Yes, that. Well, they're basically the family. The beings that find them is their family, and the beings there understand what that is. They don't call it human though, and they learn whatever language that comes through that. It's kind of like something like a Tarzan, but they do have civilizations and all that. It's slowly evolved into what you are today. A lot of beings would see some beings would see what you're doing on this planet as just brilliant. Yes, it might be a world of chaos, but it was brilliant. Others, yes, would be just horrified because of what's happening with nature. But, because that's where you came from. I mean, your origins come from trees, basically. Once again, from other outside of your universe. Yeah, this universe is not developed. It can, but it's not the same. Because remember, there's places I just think much differently than yours. Realize we're bringing this to you to give you some hope of your healing methods. Of, yes, where you're heading now. Yes, you're just destroying the past, basically. Yes. Burying it. There's only one way to, you're just letting it go. Nothing wrong with that. Yes, it happens. And some that censor, that they're terrified of their own future because they might not exist anymore. Their infrastructures won't exist anymore. Because as you're tearing down society's old ways, the current superpowers are seeing their own exits. Where their big companies no longer have the justification, and they're scared. They say one thing but do another, but it's mostly fear. Now they can change that by not censoring, but they'd rather just censor. It's easier because they come from an energy of fear. This world's not. Yeah, don't make it easy. I mean, many of these large corporations might make less money, but be more caring about humanity. It is possible, but many choose not to. You can say they got taken over, but they can untake themselves over if they wish. Most choose not to. They can change it. They have enough power to do so. Once again, they might not do well financially as they once did, but doesn't mean they're going to go away if their intentions are to service society. Don't know how you look at things. Not that it matters that much of that. But yes, we've seen much of what's happening on our planet before. Not just denseness, though. The denseness is because you want to learn more about yourselves. That's why, yes, the Lord Astral is here. He has to pull out the darkness out of yourselves. There's much more to it than that. You only get like half the story. You don't get the full thing, because it's the mystery of life. For now, at least. Yeah, when you start healing your mysteries, yes, your world's going into a higher dimension then. Blessings to your society.